Today, we examine a case that left an entire family shattered. A case where the person responsible wasn't a stranger or an intruder, but a son. Angela Clayton was a 74-year-old mother and grandmother who spent decades building a life filled with love, family, and memories. This is the story of Angela Clayton. Angela Clayton spent her life doing what so many mothers do. She cared. She nurtured. She loved her family unconditionally. To those who knew her, the 74-year-old grandmother was kind, dependable, and deeply loved. She had lived in her home in St. George's Square, Newham, for more than 25 years, where she built a life surrounded by family and friends. No one could have imagined that the person who would ultimately end her life was someone she had spent decades raising. Tuesday, February 17, 2026. It was an ordinary afternoon in Forest Gate, East London. Neighbors went about their daily routines. Cars passed quietly through the residential streets. Inside one home, however, events were unfolding that would leave an entire family devastated forever. At approximately 12:48 p.m., London's emergency services received an unexpected 999 call. The caller wasn't reporting a burglary. He wasn't asking for an ambulance. He wasn't saying someone had broken into the house. Instead, the caller calmly told police that he had killed his mother. Metropolitan Police officers and London Ambulance Service paramedics raced to the address in St. George's Square. Every emergency call is treated seriously, but this one carried an unimaginable weight. When officers entered the property, they made their way through the quiet home until they reached a bedroom. There, they found 74-year-old Angela Clayton. Despite the efforts of emergency responders, she was pronounced dead at the scene. For detectives, one terrible question remained with them. Why? The man waiting at the property was Angela's own son, Richard Clayton, 45 years old. Instead of fleeing the scene, he had stayed behind after making the emergency call. He was immediately arrested and taken into police custody while specialist detectives began piecing together what had happened inside the family home. Investigators quickly established that Angela had been strangled inside the house. A murder investigation began. Most homicide investigations rely heavily on interviews with suspects. Detectives hope to understand what happened, why it happened, and whether there is any remorse. But Richard Clayton proved difficult to question. According to investigators, he alternated between answering every question with no comment. At other times he remained completely silent. And on several occasions, officers said he pretended to be asleep while detectives attempted to interview him. The investigation, therefore, relied heavily on forensic evidence and the circumstances surrounding the killing. The following day, Richard Clayton was formally charged with murder. Angela's family had already suffered the unimaginable. Now they faced months of legal proceedings while waiting for justice. The criminal case slowly moved through the courts. For nearly 5 months, relatives attended hearings, spoke with investigators, and tried to come to terms with the loss of a woman they described as the heart of their family. Throughout that period, they remained focused on ensuring Angela received justice. On Monday, July 13, 2026, Richard Clayton appeared before the Old Bailey. Rather than contest the evidence, he pleaded guilty to murdering his mother. The admission meant Angela's family would not have to endure a lengthy murder trial. Although nothing could erase their pain, the guilty plea removed any uncertainty about who was responsible for Angela's death. Following the guilty plea, Angela's family released a deeply emotional statement. They explained that everything they had done over the previous 6 months had been for their mother, to ensure she received the justice she deserved. They asked for privacy so they could grieve together and protect what they described as Angela's beautiful legacy of love. They also thanked the Metropolitan Police and specialist support officers for guiding them through one of the darkest periods of their lives. Detective Chief Inspector Joanna York described Angela as a much-loved mother, grandmother and friend. She acknowledged that no court outcome could undo the family's loss. But she expressed hope that the guilty plea would provide at least some measure of closure. Richard Clayton is due to return to court for sentencing on September 22, 2026. Mortem breakdown. Motive. The exact motive has not been publicly established. Richard Clayton admitted killing his mother, but no detailed explanation has yet emerged through court proceedings. 2 out of 10. Operations. A single victim homicide carried out inside the family home by strangulation, followed immediately by a 999 self-confession. 5 out of 10. Reach. The crime was confined to one household in Newham and posed no wider threat to the public. 2 out of 10. Terror impact. Although not a mass casualty event, the murder of a mother by her own son sent shockwaves through the local community and deeply affected the victim's family. 6 out of 10. Execution style. The attack was personal, direct, and committed in a private residence without any attempt to flee or conceal responsibility afterward. 5 out of 10. Mindset. The offender's full psychological state has not been established in open court. Based only on confirmed facts, the killing appears to have been an intensely personal act rather than one driven by broader ideological or predatory motives. 3 out of 10. The most heartbreaking murders are often the ones that happen behind closed doors. There are no high-speed chases, no international manhunts, no elaborate criminal conspiracies. Just families whose lives are changed forever in a single moment. Angela Clayton's story is a reminder that every victim deserves to be remembered for the life they lived, not simply for the way it ended. May she never be forgotten. If you believe every victim deserves to have their story told with dignity and respect, please support the channel by liking this video, subscribing to Mortem, and turning on notifications. Your support helps us continue documenting real criminal cases, preserving the memories of victims, and bringing carefully researched true crime stories to audiences around the world. Until next time, stay aware and stay informed.